Hey, what's up, team? It's Sherman from Boss Mod. Today we're looking at the ISTJ. ISTJ, before we get into it, let me explain the model that I use here. It's, you have four members. There's a video on it too, but you have four members within your mental wiring that you're using. And the first one is essentially your compulsion and how you choose or how you naturally live in everyday life. And that's the hero. After that is the companion. The companion is the kind of counterbalance to that. It's not necessarily a mirror of it, but like for you, you prefer to gather information first before acting. So your companion does the decision making and etc. We'll get into it. Don't worry. Yeah, that balances you out. You both are the same level, high level. You work really well together, and together you get into that growth state and motivation state. But the other two members kind of complicate things. The newbie is the mirror balance, the mirror opposite of your companion. And that it's also introverted, so it's an elf. And it's very easy for you to listen to and to understand because it comes very naturally to you to introspect before acting on the outer world. And then the last member is the escort. And the escort is the mirror opposite of you, your hero style. And in this case, it's extroverted intuition. And it catastrophizes and stuff like that. So like that's gonna be where you get a lot of problems with your thinking, and you're kind of afraid of what could happen, and it causes a lot of difficulties for you. But with time, you'll figure it out, and you'll train him and get better at it. So let's get right into it. Your hero is introverted sensing, so I call that an elf warrior. And I think of elf warriors as guardians. They're very slow, tanky. You have your shield and your sword, and you're protecting your allies. And, you know, you're using your training and your past experiences to get the correct understanding of what will happen. Just through knowing, through like many other instances of the same thing. So you like routine and probably habit and stuff like that. This is, you know, stereotypically, but introverted sensing, it takes all these sensory details and brings them into your mind, and then you kind of sift through them and sort them out into this mental database of information. So when you come up to a new can of Dr. Pepper like I have over here, you know, you kind of think of all the past Dr. Peppers and sodas and stuff that you had, and you kind of overlay this image of it and all the past sensory details that were involved in it to decide if it's good or bad. It's not a decision-making function, but it's gathering and sorting the information. So that's what that is. Let me look at some abilities here. You have like battle training, so you've trained hard and learned from the best. You take less damage. So this is when you focus on the tried and true methods to inform your decisions. And, you know, everything, either your own personal experiences or, you know, stuff you've read about or other people's experiences, you kind of compile those together to get this idea of what you should do because it is a reliable method. Okay. Second wind, regenerate quickly when out of combat, use existing resources when possible. Basically, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So don't, you don't try to reinvent the wheel, right? You want to stick with what you know works and get stability. You want to stabilize your life and other people's lives and work and everything like that. Moment of clarity, become untargetable. This is when you go back into your past and you use it to make sense of the environment and like remembering in very clear detail the layout of a city or whatever that you've been to. Shield slam, stun and do damage. Every bit of experience and resources add up when tackling a task. I think you can appreciate that. A lot of more shield abilities here. Shield block, predict and block an attack. Predictability is important when building structure for your life. Shield wall, shield throw. Sure. A lot of those. Kick, push back your target. So keep new threats at bay until you're ready to accept or reject them. This is something that a lot of elves, introverts do. You just keep things away from you until you have enough time to understand it to whatever that level is that you want to go for. Taunt targets to attack you. Take on more duty and responsibility than most because you know you can handle it and you want it done right. Yeah, that's introverted sensing right there. Okay, so you have your understanding of the hero abilities right now, and this is what leads you through most of your life. But you have 3 more members, right? So your companion is extroverted thinking, and extroverted thinking is about making plans and step-by-step actions to reach a goal. And you do that through organizing people and things in the outer world. And this is like a geomancer. I call it like a dwarf mage, right? So, yeah, I mean, basically I just explained it, but you want to make efficient and effective goals. And combined with introverted sensing, your hero style, you get this kind of like slow and steady wins the race type thing. It builds and builds and builds into a very stable and secure life that you use to carry you through your day and help those who are very important to you in the community. Introverted sensing is also, a very community-focused function, and I think you can appreciate that too. So you might not necessarily share emotions all the time, right? But you are aware of your duty and your responsibilities. And mixed with extroverted thinking, your companion, you can make efforts to like continue and push forward and put plans into action. Okay, so after that, your newbie, this is a level 10. Okay, this is an elf healer, priest, okay? And this is all about understanding your subjective reality of your feelings, right? And emotions and needs on an individual level. And of course, you can think of yourself and how you felt in a situation and then kind of imagine how other people would feel in a similar situation. And it's a lot to do with inner harmony, authenticity, and doing the right thing based on the ethics behind it. And so when you get a little stressed out, you can more easily ignore the geomancer, your companion, and listen to, what happened in your past. Listen to the priest, the introverted feeling side. And this kind of skews things because you don't have that outer understanding, right? It's all about your subjective understanding. And when you stay in there for too long, you just ignore what is actually happening in the outer world, right? And it's all about your specific past instances, which are very unique to you, right? So be careful not to listen to the newbie too much. Give them time to grow and play and level up, and heal you when necessary. Kind of relieve some stress from being in the outer world too much. But don't let him make all the decisions. Okay. And your last one in this model, your last player is the Escort, which is like a level 3. It's AI. It's pretty buggy. It's not reliable. Okay. And this is extroverted intuition for you. Extroverted intuition, I equate to like a gunslinger, a dwarf hunter with a big shotgun that just wants to collect more trophies, and he's very goofy and kind of off the wall. And that doesn't really mesh well, right, with that guardian, slow, methodical, like stable mindset, right? What extroverted intuition does is it looks at some stimulus or whatever in the outer world and kind of goes from there and imagines different abstract connections and possibilities from there. So kind of like what I was doing earlier when I related everything to Dr. Pepper because it was right here. That's kind of what it does. So it's just like abstract leaps and bounds and jumps away from the tangible reality of the world. And so when you get really stressed out and you can't tank anymore, your shield's cracked, you're low on your durability for your armor and stuff, that's when this dwarf hunter, this gunslinger, is like, okay, I'm running out there and we're gonna see what happens. And it's pretty awful, when you get in the grip of your inferior function, what the Escort is. It can be hell. And so he's the one that's going to be like, well, there's so many different threats out there, and there's nothing we can do no matter how much we like prepare for what's going to happen. There's always more, there are always bad things that are going to come out there. And just mess with your mind. So what you should do is, accept that it's there and it's another way of looking at things and it's another way of acting, right? It's a different class. But don't give it too much priority. And when you start catastrophizing, when you start imagining all these bad things that are happening, that's your cue that you need to step back, you need to kind of recollect yourself and stabilize your mind and just do something that feels like personally correct, feels good and right, and it's meeting your personal needs, and maybe it could be kind of nostalgic or something like that, something that you've done before. Maybe watch a movie that makes you feel good or something like that, and that'll put you back into your hero strengths. Okay, so real quick, just a recap. Your hero is introverted sensing. Okay, this is a guardian. This is the one that's built on your past experiences and your trainings, and using that information, using your hindsight to carry you forward in the correct way. Okay. And your companion is extroverted thinking. Extroverted thinking is like that geomancer style of moving things around and making clear steps that you can take to reach a goal, reach a result, an achievement, or whatever you want to call it. And get those things that, you know, give you stability in the world, like material stability and stuff. It's not always like about material stuff, but it can be. Next, your newbie. Your newbie is introverted feeling. This is a priest. It's very slow decision making, and it's all about what happened to you personally in the past and how it made you feel. And are your decisions authentic to you? And this gives you that emotional clarity that you need to support your community, support your group, and those who matter to you. And then last, your escort, your inferior or aspirational function, is extroverted intuition. And this is what, you know, eventually when you grow up and you're in your 40s or whatever, or older, depending, this is when you start to understand that a lot more, like the importance of looking at the abstract world and thinking of the different possibilities and things that could happen, and that'll help you prepare for those even more. Okay, if you have any questions, comments, you just want to talk or whatever, write down below. You can go to the website, check it out. Thanks for watching. Good luck, have fun. See you.